Hello and welcome to the Cat Collective. I'm Nina, I'm the channel for this channel. And let's start. Loss. Okay. Rooted. And visionary. And bottom of the deck is intuition. Yeah, love that card. Oh, it's so free, isn't it? Gonna pull some more. One from this deck. Truth. Okay. Yeah, well, and dreams. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think this reading, wants to talk about weird banana, yeah. Oh, again. It wants to spin further the idea from the last Gemini reading. And there's something happened that I found interesting. I couldn't express what I wanted to express with my words, and something slipped out of there, and it was part of the parts which are lovable. And I thought that is very interesting, because there's this truth within us that is holding each other back from unconditionally loving each other up. It's the parts that are lovable, because the parts that are lovable is a judgment that is very, very interesting, because I think every part is lovable, and that's the point that this whole reading wants to bring. It's a bit of an isolated approach and wording that I really didn't like, but I really liked the reading overall, like the message. So I think that's a part maybe of yourself that wants to be looked at, that you think is not lovable, and that might hold you back at times. Because if you look at yourself and you think about something that is really bothering you and that you think is not lovable, there's something within you that that you think that you are not lovable for that. Some sort of imperfection, your weird banana being, that you are not accepting fully. That's a part that is not according to your manipulated vision and beingness. Like, you're manipulated based on wounds, based on life experience, roots, loss. There's something that you think something about you that you think is not lovable. And it is a result of that's a result of wounding, something that has happened. Maybe some people didn't love this part about you, and they've caused you a lot of wounds and a lot of loss in a way, because I think you are a person who really just loves and you accept fully. Yeah, you might be a bit hesitant in some areas to fully accept some things in people, especially maybe some destructive things that, it's like when you are seeing someone and you see it because you are not them, right? You look at them and you see how they destroy themselves with things that they do, maybe addictions. But there's something about yourself that you also know that is the same, and that you haven't been loved for. Could be something minor, like a freckle, or I don't know. You know what I mean? Just something that is a part of you, that you were born with, something that is totally okay from someone else's perspective when they love you, because they see you from a different pair of eyes. But you, yourself, you don't feel that because of this, you are not lovable. Right? And that's causing you issues. And that's this, what I was, it's this one tiny thing in an overall really perfect and nice message that is, it's this one tiny thing about you that is actually, if you look at the overall picture, so insignificant, but you are blowing it up. It's this, because of this, look at this. This is a wound, right? This looks like a red and just something like that you still want to transform. It's just one thing, but if you look at the bigger thing, the whole existence of you, who you are, what you talk about, what you can do, like the core of you, everything about you is so nice, but there's this one thing that you are looking at and you really think you are not lovable because of this. Maybe because some others cannot accept you for something like this. It could be something similar, like it's just so the way you look, the way you just something about this. And you're really feeling the dread of this. And this one tiny thing, you look at the reflection of yourself, it says, beehive again wants to point at the big thing, right? The bigger picture, but it's also beehive, it could be that those wounds have been caused by relationships, by people who didn't love you for this. Maybe you had a boy or girlfriend who was pointing this out to you. Maybe not just one. And this causes a wound, but and that's there's so much beauty within you. There's this beautiful, colorful dress that you are, you are so beautiful, but you are still just looking at this one tiny bit just makes it all big. And of course the reflection is the mirror that some people, if you have experienced this, it could be really a relationship wound. So I'm reminded of my own relationship wounds. Of men who've told me that I'm too fat. That's a wound of mine. And could be something like this, or just something, maybe, I don't know, just something that is just not perfect. And you think you're not lovable because of this. Because it's a wound. An open one, right? And even, I think, at this point, even if you would meet someone who still loves you who sees everything who you are, who sees this and still loves you so much for everything who you are, and who doesn't care about this tiny imperfection, it's very hard for you to accept that, it's still something you are carrying around with you. And this card just wants you to look at, it's a very, look with this card, Like there's not much color in this, you know, very depressed, right? And this is the core inside of you. It's very colorful, right? And that this is just a minor thing in the big picture, and that's what it wanted to talk about. Also with this black and white and color, you know. It's, you know, your whole existence, your whole all the bricks that make you who you are, right? That form you as a house. they are perfect system, and you just don't like the form of it. And some people actually like the form of you. You know? And if someone comes to you and loves you just the way you are, maybe that's also, it could be that there's something also because of this wound that you are also kind of don't, it's a bit of a contradictory thing. It's this, maybe you, like, if you say this as just as an example, this example that I used to have, that if someone doesn't love you because you are overweight, right? You can always lose the weight. It's nothing. There's nothing that makes up your core. It's your form, you know. But if you look at your character and your heart and your kindness and your beautiful creativity and everything that makes you, right? If you look at all of this, you can always lose the weight, and then you are perfect, or what? In somebody else's eyes, in your own eyes. But look at the contradictory in this is that maybe you are holding yourself, you know, maybe this is this is the issue why you are not losing weight. It's an example. Just take whatever it means, you know. It's this, you want to be loved for who you are. But if someone actually comes to you and loves you for who you are, you cannot believe it. You cannot. Because you think you're so unlovable and so not worthy of love, because you in your own head blow up this problem until it eats all the colors in your beautiful, colorful being. But there's someone coming to you and loving you up. And they're like, look at you, you are so beautiful. Look at this unicorn of yours. You are so beautiful. And you cannot believe it and accept it, and it tears you apart, doesn't it? It's like someone seeing your colors. You must have been in a very dark place because of this for a long time. Right? In a state of loss, in a state of heartbreak and darkness, just because of this. And then suddenly someone comes to you and loves you, and you cannot acknowledge it because you are fed up with the dark, like you are full of this darkness of this blown up, insignificant, minor detail that can be changed even. It's all just about, I think it's about body. So if it's not weight, it can be a form of a body, you know. Men often have a problem when they are too skinny, or, you know, or yeah, of course there are also overweight men, you know. I'm a female, so of course this comes out of me, like with this example, but it can be just the form of this, you know, and this causes a lot of issue, and it's just the body, it's not your soul. And it's a vessel, you know that it's a vessel, and you know, of course it causes you problems. You are maybe not as fit as you could be, right? You are not, you are not a goat jumping up a mountain if you are overweight. It's just an example that I wanted to give. But still, you have all the colors and the beauty. It's just that your mind is you. And if the bee comes to a flower, like zzz, look at this beautiful big flower, right? And you're still in this manipulation of, oh, I'm not worthy because I'm a cushion. I'm comfortable, actually. Right? You have to see the good side as well, It's like there's this manipulation, this media indoctrinated image of how a person needs to look like, and we want to strive for it, a lot of apply makeup to look like a certain type, to form this, to have the nose in the right, form, and just, it's like maybe your teeth are looking funny. I don't know. But some people just like that. That's the uniqueness, the weird banana thing about you. Maybe that's exactly what the person likes about you as well. Some men, they like big butts, right? They just like that. It's not about that. It's about your perception of this and your radical acceptance of your weird banana existence, and about love, you for yourself, and accepting that you can let this in. So the part that is not lovable and, not lovable. Just wanted to, this previous reading really triggered this for me, to look at this and to see, to make you see that this is just what you see, and what you see because you have been wounded so much by cruel words from cruel people who have not the right to judge about this. Because they maybe have not even the slightest they are not in the position to also, they don't see you fully. That's the one point. B, it's this, look at what it reflects back to them. If they don't accept you for this, they want to decorate themselves with something that visually looks the way they want it to look. But this is an insecurity if they cannot stand up to this and love fully and love you fully for who you are. Let's see. C would be, well, they are not for you, of course, but also you wouldn't want a person like this in your life. That's almost a natural. It's a natural sorting out process. And that's the thing I think you might be subconsciously also aware of, that you want to have someone in your life who sees you for who you are. And maybe this would even make it easier for you to change the thing. If it's, if it's bothering you, and if you have issues with this and you are not happy about this, of course, you need to change it, but not to be loved by someone else. I think this point that you are in is almost a rebellious state of, I'm gonna stay the way I am until the person comes to me who actually accepts me for who I am, which in the first place has to be you, right? Of course. But still, it's a bit of this rebellion. You know what? I'm gonna stay the way I am if you don't, especially if some people point it out, right? But if it's still something that you want to change, you don't need to wait, because the person who is for you, This is not important for them. Not at all. Most of all, it's important for you that you are happy with this. And if you can accept this and transform yourself, that's why this house, it's again housed form. That's why the form doesn't change, because it's this thought process of, you know what? No, I'm just staying the way I am until I find this, right? But it's not, it's a false thing, because it's a false way of thinking. Not false. It's just holding you back. It's again a thought that's holding you back. It's not wrong or right. It's just holding you back because of the manipulation. And because you are not seeing the truth about yourself the way that some people do. You just, it's an unproportionate blow up of an issue that is not half as big as it is actually. Because you are lovable. And that's the point of this whole reading, the parts of you that are lovable. And it's every part of you. Not just the parts that you also can look at and see, okay, yeah, there's value in it. Everything about you is valuable. Right? So there's nothing that you need to change to be lovable. And if you accept this, you can enjoy life much better, and it flows, and things like this will, your day will be brighter, the colors will be much more vibrant if you can accept this. It's almost there. See, there's this color there, and if you look at again the bricks, it's this not as colorful, right? But there, the colors, they are coming out. This, right? So just wants to point this out, that the part of you that you think are not lovable are just because you are wounded. You have been wounded by some cruel words of people, some cruel judgments, which are not coming from a higher source, because whenever someone has a wound like this, as I said, if they want to decorate themselves with something that is not if they want to decorate their beingness, they have a special other wound that they need to look at. And it's no judgment about this, because some people are objectively more pretty than other people, but for you, what really matters for you in this moment and in general, what you really want to surround yourself with actually is people who really love you for who you are, right? For who you are now, are not in the future, not have been now. Right? For who you are now. And accepting this, and also being grateful for this sorting out process, because if someone else just does, that's just saving you some lessons. Imagine if this would cause issues. Or maybe you are in a situation where someone is pointing out some things about you all the time, about what you need to change, and that this is just not perfect, and blah blah blah, then it's your sign of, well, then you are not for me, I guess. It's a boundary setting. It's this, yeah, well then no, it's fine. Oh, look at that. Adoration and seeking. Ooh. Seeking, yeah, it could be you, maybe. Like what you are seeking is pure adoration, right? It's this But you have to let it in also. It's accepting it, not rejecting it from a point of, really, like, are you sure, almost not believing it. If someone, if you are falling in love, then you can just accept it, right? And then your life is more brighter. The flowers are in her hair, and look at that. It's beautiful. So, of course, there's this part of you that is so lovable, and it's every part of you. I just wanted to point that out. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful reading, full of love, self-love, and self-acceptance, and also accepting of other people who are saying things about you that are in this direction, because as I said, they have their own wounds they need to heal. It's a wound about prestige and stuff like that, and yeah, and that's all you can do is send them healing. Send them healing, and most of all, accept yourself the way you are, and then enjoy life. Don't live as if you have to hide something. Just be the truth, but also acknowledge if you want to change something about you. If it's really bothering you, then just do it, but do it for yourself, for your own good. If it's continuing to bother you, you have blank canvas. You can always change things about you, but do it from a loving perspective. It's not, oh, I hate that about me, I really have to do something against it. No, it's about, oh, I really want to experience the lightness of being. If you want to lose weight and get up, it says people also don't know what people are going through who are actually overweight, or just not the way they want to look like, in a way, because being overweight means that you're lifting so much more weight up whenever you walk, and then some people who are not cautious or conscious, they don't know how hard it is actually to move around like this, to breathe, to, it's not an easy path of life. It's a wound. It's just the acceptance of this, and also knowing that there's no that it's just about you, how you feel in your body. And if you want to change it, do it. If you are not at a point where you are willing to give up extra calories, then it's just an example. I'm just thinking about, because it's an example, because it could be that some things you cannot change, Maybe you have got something about you that you cannot change, or that would require some really unusual things that you might consider, like surgery or something, which is not necessary at all. That's a huge step, and and this love that comes through, that sips through this reading, that comes through all the color, this red, this orange, there's this beautiful red, it's a major arcana card, and there's the red, all this. It just wants to help you to just have the peace of mind and beingness and everything, and the love, that there's nothing you need to change. Nothing. To have a part of you that is lovable, because everything about you is lovable. Does that make sense? I hope. I mean, for me, it's a wound I can relate to, right? It's really a wound I can relate to. And I really had to talk about this. It's just because there's so much more about a person than a framework, right? It's about the soul and the heart and everything else. So, of course, but it takes a while to accept everything like this, and at times it can still be, you can still be triggered, right? So it all depends what you want to do. But don't work against yourself, work for yourself. That's what the reading wanted to point at. So I'm already talking over 30 minutes, yeah. So let's see if there's a wrapping up guidance for this adoration. So nothing will come of this situation. Yeah, it's just pointing to the pointlessness of not loving yourself, right? Nothing will come of this situation of you yourself blowing up a problem that is insignificant. That's all that I wanted to look at. So is there something more? It's time to release negativity. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah, and also believe that you're lovable, even though it doesn't. No, every part of you is unique and beautiful, and yeah. So let's see who this reading is for. Whoa. You want to come out? No, I don't take you. So let's see how this. That was too fast. Oh yes. Okay. Pisces. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, okay. So additional info is in the letter box below, and yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.